everybody.
Good afternoon.
Sorry I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I stayed home because it was too cold outside. It was too cold. I went to lunch and said, I'm not doing that video. I'm going home.
You had a snow day.
I had a snow day. Yeah, that's what I did. I had a snow day.
Well,
but today is Wednesday, January the
24th.
24th, 2024.
Yep, January 24, 2024. And this is Canonsburg UP Church.
112 West Pike Street, Canonsburg, PA 15317, 724-745-0800, Canonsburg UP Church.
Have you got church?
Get church right here with Al and Dawn and I.
There you go.
So I'm Ken Klink, just a piano player. This is Al Fonce, my friend. And this is Don Coleman, the pastor of Canonsburg UP Church.
Just the pastor.
Just the pastor, yeah.
Just the pastor.
Just the pastor. He's the CEO.
I don't know about that.
CFO.
Nah, probably definitely not that.
Okay, then I don't know.
COO.
Huh?
COO.
Maybe.
COO?
Uh-huh.
What's that?
Chief Operating Officer.
Yeah, that's it. That's what you are.
But I report to a lot of people. So.
I know you do. How come you don't report to me?
There's too much to explain there. They don't want to know.
I got to tell you, he's got one on me, and he's really thrilled about it. There's a light behind our cross now.
We talked about this before.
On
yes,
and he won't tell me.
They know they know right behind the camera right now.
Yeah,
cross.
There's a and he won't tell me.
He hasn't told you yet.
No,
I'm not allowed to tell you.
Who said?
Was what I was told when the moment that it was.
Oh,
I was instructed.
Please.
I was. Yep.
I'm sure my name was not mentioned. When
it was.
Why?
I would have been happy to show you.
Oh, you lie!
I've been told.
You lying dog. No.
Yeah. So
that's not true.
But hey, anyway, let's talk about something else. You were away out.
I was away in Texas. Yep.
And Texas weather was
terrible. It was. We got there and it was about 45 and windy, 20-mile-an-hour winds. My son ran at a marathon in Houston. It was 45 degrees is not a bad temperature to be running a marathon.
Right.
So that was good. And Linda and I got really good at jumping around the course to be able to see a run.
I know. I prefer when I run marathons that it be cooler like that.
Yeah. And then we went over to visit a high school friend of mine in Austin, Texas. And temperatures got down to about 14 degrees. People's water was freezing. And it was pretty chilly. We left it with 70.
So you left Texas and it was 70 by the time you left?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get many days where it was warm?
No, it never was warm. It was one afternoon. It was, by noon it was 70, but
you're getting on a plane.
They were just getting warmed up, yeah.
Well, that's too bad, Alvin.
It was all right. We had a good time.
Well, I know it. You always have a good time.
Did you go down? What was the primary reason you made this trip?
Well, to watch my son in the marathon, yeah.
That is so cool. That you and Linda both have the ability and the desire to go down and support your son.
That's
doing
wonderful.
This thing. That's really cool. I bet how did he feel?
Well, it was tough because he wants to qualify for the Boston Marathon, and in order to do that, he was going to have to run it in 3 hours and 1 minute or less. And
no wonder
the last
he's so
marathon we saw him run was in Providence, Rhode Island. We went out there, and he ran it in 3 hours and 3 minutes, so he missed it by 2 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
So he was planning on qualifying on this one, but right before Christmas, he came down with E. coli.
Oh, yeah, when he was at your house.
He was sick for 3 weeks and couldn't train for over a month, and it messed up his. It was, 3 weeks before he ran, it messed up his training program, and he ended up running it in 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, I hate when that happens. My exercise regime is so rigid about what time I do it.
Yeah.
Twice a day.
Yeah.
I'm putting extra miles on my car.
Twice a day.
He naps. That's his exercise routine.
No, it's walking out to his car.
Talking is my exercise.
He's got about 20 steps he's got to go
What, to my car?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because it's up the steps.
The steps.
It's up the steps.
He loses his
I can run up those steps. I need help.
Once.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
once. You'll be dead afterwards, but you
Exactly.
can do it once.
In one of our apartment buildings, there's a third floor, and you have to walk from the ground up to the first floor. So it's really like 4 floors. Okay? And I got to tell you, I did that twice on Monday. Twice, I tell
And you're
you.
still alive.
And I said to the people that I was
Is there a bench
showing.
at the top of the steps? Is there a bench at the top of the steps?
No, but there's landings. Like every 5 steps, there's a landing.
You know, when we were out in Colorado with my son, we went up this trail up this one mountainside, and going up the trail, there was benches every once in a while, and there was also those machines, those heart machines.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there was 2 of them
Clear.
on the trail.
Oh, the AED machines.
The AED
machines.
machines.
Okay. All right.
About halfway up, there
Yeah.
was an AED, and up at the top, there was an AED machine for
You've been using those suckers on me.
emergencies, so.
That's funny because we in all of the hikes and stuff like that I did over the summer, including the Grand Canyon, there were none of those. I would have thought that would have been a great place to have.
Yeah, really? A heart attack?
No, to have the machines.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Yes, I would assume because there were people who get themselves into trouble. So
Well, and then how high is the Grand Canyon? No, I mean in that according to sea level
6,000 or 7,000 feet.
feet.
Oh, you mean
The rim.
mean okay, so the I want to say it's a mile down.
Deep, yeah,
I
but
think it's a mile down. I can't.
I bet the rim's about 7,000.
Yeah, I can't
6 or
remember
7.
exactly. I could go back.
well, that would be
Take a
what
look
that would be not Sedona, but what's the next town up the road?
Las Vegas.
It's near Flagstaff.
No,
It's
Flagstaff,
Flagstaff is
Whatever the elevation is.
That's down the road.
Yeah, the closest
Yes.
largest town.
Yes. I just wonder what elevation they were
Yeah, but
because if the air was thinner up there.
yeah.
No, when I went to the Grand Canyon, they didn't have that thing you could walk out on and look down.
So they only have that in one spot. We didn't go to that place either. Look
No,
at
that would have scared me.
on-screen producer Al's gonna.
Of course he is.
Gonna check that out. That's why he's.
That's why we need another person. We
Yeah.
need to pick up We need to pick up another. We need a background person.
Well, you know what I just remembered as I sat down here? I'm like, oh, we had talked about doing an interactive.
Oh yeah, and that didn't happen.
So we will. So,
Okay.
So next week.
Okay, so we need to advertise
Next week
that.
we're going to do an interactive. Look at that, approximately 7,000 feet.
7,000.
Wait,
That's
what?
Flagstaff. Flagstaff's at 7,000 feet.
Oh, the beach of the San Francisco Peaks.
So even if it flooded, water would have to come a long way before.
Oh, there's zero. The Colorado. Yeah, there's no.
Well, the Colorado River made that.
What I'm
time
saying
ago.
is like you can't. You can't possibly. I don't think there's enough water on Earth that could flood that. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I don't know. I watched Deep Impact last night, so I could be
I can't
influenced.
do those
on that.
movies. Just
Why not?
interested.
Oh my Lord, they're the best.
Yeah.
Oh, disaster movies you can't
South
be.
Rim 7,000, North Rim 8,000. Yeah, I've never been to the North Rim. South Rim twice now. And,
Yeah, South Rim was where I was too. Yeah,
7,000 feet.
7,000. Yeah,
And
There's no
and
air.
The thing about hiking at the Grand Canyon, of course, is you start up. So you go down. Oh yeah, nice and
Right.
easy. You got the second half is coming back up.
well, yeah.
So that's
When you rent a donkey.
Let me tell you, less chance. So we were, and if I share this, tell me. But so when we were coming back up, we saw. I don't know if it was donkeys, mules, or horses. I feel like it was
I
horses.
think it's donkeys.
I think we saw horses. But
Okay.
besides the point. So they were riding down on them, and I mean the pathway.
Narrow.
Of just
I mean
nothing.
There are places that it's not as wide as from the edge of this to the edge of
Right.
And I can't imagine one thing to be on the ground on your feet. It's another thing to be sitting on a horse
But see, I would think.
on the edge. No.
Horses are afraid of heights too.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. If they're
But I think
afraid,
they're-
I don't want something that's
but I
afraid. I
think
want
they're-
something that's confident.
But I think they're more sure-footed than we are.
They don't want to fall off. The
You
edge.
know why? Because they have 4.
Sure.
They
Sure.
understand the
That's-
ramifications of taking
Yeah,
that
they
step
understand
over the
it.
edge.
I don't think
Yeah.
I
That's
still
why I
don't.
think it's a donkey
Well, again, what I saw,
or maybe a billy goat.
definitely not a billy goat.
No.
I've got pictures. I can go back and take
Oh,
a
okay.
look.
Well, so
But,
you don't have to do that right now.
I think it was horse and mule. I think that's what
A
it
mule?
was. I think it was horse and mule.
A donkey.
That's what- Donkey and mule. See, a mule is a cross between a horse and a donkey.
Oh, I did not know that.
And they cannot breed.
A mule can't breed.
A mule cannot breed.
So he's one of a kind.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's like a
End of the chain.
an
There you
Enoch.
go.
A what?
End of the chain.
line.
What?
End of the chain.
End of the chain, yeah.
Yeah. Now, you were not the only one away.
You were away too.
I was away. I was in sunny, but not nearly as warm as you would think, Southern California, taking part in a certificate program. The first,
Certificate.
yeah, I'm going to get a certificate at the end of this in 2
Okay.
years. So,
All right.
Oh, you have to go back.
oh, yeah,
Frameable?
maybe, sure. Let me just tell you this.
You know what? Go back and let's take a train ride when you go back.
My
I'll go with
Master of Divinity degree is not framed, but it's in my office in case anybody asks for it. So I'm not really much of a framing things on the wall kind of guy, but
I don't have that stuff anymore. I don't have my college,
no.
no, or my.
Yeah, I don't even know I think my
high
college
school.
degree is in a box somewhere.
Mine was in the fire somewhere, so that's okay. I don't need it.
Was it
I-
on the wall before the fire?
No,
Okay.
no, but I knew where it was, and my high school yearbooks too. Yeah, my college yearbooks.
While I was out there,
Oh,
we
that's
did
where this came from.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is the end of an activity that we did. So we created our own cairns.
You're on
Karen.
what?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You're familiar. Cairn, CAIRN.
Yeah, I was going to look up what the name was. I couldn't remember.
That's it. Yeah,
A pile of rocks, a marker pile of rocks.
Say again.
cairn, CAIRN.
CAIRN.
Yep,
Never,
Cairn.
never.
It's a Celtic word.
Okay,
It's a Canadian thing.
with your
It's
rocks.
in Southern California. I was the only Canadian there.
I'm telling you what, you go into Canada, they're everywhere.
Well-
Everywhere.
Are they?
Everywhere.
But it's a Celtic thing, and it's a stacking of rocks. So we had a whole bunch of rocks in the middle of a room. There was 19 participants, 6 staff. There was like 25, 26 of us.
I think
They
you
were part
bought
of
this in a
this.
souvenir shop for $2.99.
No, there's no price
They're
tag.
I
great. They're
know.
great trail markers, and that's what
I
they're.
told him I wanted it.
They're
So-
little monuments that people make all over the place.
So for us, part of what our job in this exercise was to do is go. Again, there was a ton of stones, way more than we needed. Was to pick out 5 stones.
One for each of you.
No, just 5 stones. So again, there was like 25 people participating
okay.
between staff and students, and they were picking up 5 stones, and we were to stack them.
Concentric stones, or
Yeah.
did they give you any direction on the size of the stones?
No, whatever. I picked out 1, 2, 3, 4, and then see, this is what happened. They said, now take one of your stones and place it on someone else's cairn.
Oh,
And it was just kind of cool. It was like it was towards the end of our time together, and what part of our activity was to share our stories. Obviously, people have a lot of things that they share in their stories that you might connect with, identify with. Sometimes deep wounds and different things. Anyway, so it was find somebody who you connected with, something they shared or whatever, and say, I placed this stone on your cairn. And of course, if more than one person did this, you had to go give another stone. So everybody was supposed to end up with 5. Now, I hadn't shared my story yet. I was one of the last people to share.
oh.
And so somebody came up to me and I don't know why they chose to, but theirs was the biggest one. And then we were invited afterwards if we would like, we didn't have to, it was an invitation, to glue them together. So that's what this hot glue.
Oh, yeah, I noticed
and
the
then,
glue.
And then when we take it home, we're going to put it somewhere to remember our time and,
Oh, how
and our
nice.
stories. Yeah. And I love it because I talk about this a little bit with when we do orientation for
Elders
new
and
elders
deacons.
and deacons. I've shared it in sermons a lot. Just the idea of, because this goes back to the scriptures, of marking different places of significance when God shows up.
Yeah.
People remember it. And we don't have, especially in a mobile society now, where people don't necessarily, how many different cities have you lived in? Several.
Yeah.
Right? Over the course of your lifetime, myself as well. You have lived here all the time.
I got one rock.
But it's, for those of us that haven't, you don't get to walk by the same markers of your life. You have to have, so it's neat to have something that
Well, you know what's happening to me?
Lots of things.
The markers of my life are disappearing.
Ooh, okay.
They're tearing them down, or they're closing, or whatever. They're disappearing. That's not the high school I graduated from.
That's true.
You know?
Did you wait, where was the high school you graduated from?
It was there, but that's not the building.
Did they tear the whole thing down?
They, at the end, yes, they did.
Okay.
Then it was not, you could look at that sometime. It's so different. The building is so different. They have 2 or 3 floors where we were all on one floor.
Same thing as my high school.
Yeah.
I've driven by it, and it's changed significantly.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I watched them build what was the junior high that's now sitting vacant because they built another one.
Right.
So
when you started, that junior high building wasn't there?
they were building it.
Wow. Okay.
And in 7th grade and 8th grade, we watched them build it. In 9th grade, we picked our stuff up on the first day of school and moved across the street to the new building.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a bad time for me.
Let me just say this. That's a difficult season for most people.
Well, here's why it was a bad time. Because
Breaking news.
Because I got trench mouth. And here's the thing, that I wasn't the only one. Trench mouth is some awful thing that you get from drinking someplace dirty. And there was a cluster of them around this fountain on the ground floor. If you used this fountain, it was terrible. It hurt like crazy.
A drinking fountain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
New or old? So the old building?
The new, brand new building.
The new building.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brand new building. And what it feels...
Imagine something new.
Oh, you wouldn't.
Out.
You wouldn't. Imagine that.
Anyway.
Anyway, what it felt like was that, you know how your gums are smooth?
Mm-hmm.
All that smoothness was just open sore. Oh, it was terrible. Everything I ate. Yeah.
What a blessing.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Well, what a story, huh? That's another story of Ken Clink. But, it happened.
So we've got...
So what was your story that you presented
before
you got this done?
I
Did
shared
you tell them? Did you make something up?
No. I shared my faith journey, basically
okay.
from growing up in Canada all the way through coming here and the sabbatical that I took place on and our renovations that we've been able
There's
to
that
do.
word again.
So, well, the sabbatical is what led me to take part in that program.
What did?
The sabbatical.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why that word should.
I'm going to have all kind of paranoia come May 31st.
Why is that?
Because I'll think you'll be leaving again for the summer.
No. I thought you enjoyed yourself.
Well, I did enjoy myself, but I did miss you. But I know we should probably tell people that we need to watch the growth of Pastor Don's mustache and beard over these next few months because he's trying to grow a mustache for a part in Bible school.
It is
in Vacation Bible School.
A Poirot mustache, yes.
A what?
Poirot. Isn't it?
So does that mean the kind waxed on the side?
That was Poirot, yeah.
I thought it was Poirot.
I think it's Poirot.
Poirot.
Yeah. Hercule Poirot. Wow.
Kind. Hercule, yeah.
Yeah. From.
But is it waxed and turned up at the end?
I mean,
we had a guy. That went to church here for years. His whole family did. I don't want to say his last name, but he was a fireman too, and he rolled that and waxed it.
There's a coach on the Pittsburgh Steelers that's got.
Really?
No, on the Penn State. I'm sorry, on Penn State's.
That has him rolled
coaching
up
staff that
I told him if he does that, I'm going to sneak in his house while he's sleeping.
Which is zero chance of
that. I know, because
happening.
every piece of wood creaks in your house.
Every wood creaks.
From the door opening on.
And there's zero chance that you making it up 2 flights of stairs without me hearing your panting breath.
We did that to a friend of mine in college. He had a big bushy mustache, and we got the wild razor out at nighttime and held him down. And
Do you know what they did to me in college? I had
Oh boy, TMI already. I can tell.
my chest was hairy at one time.
Oh, no.
At one time.
And they shaved the strip right down the middle. It was hysterical.
So, to be honest with you, I'd welcome it being shaved off, except for the fact that this VBS. That's the only reason I'm ready to.
I'm telling you, it would be more funny if you had a fake one.
I think it's going to be ready by the 1st of April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1st of April?
Yes.
Well, then, if that's the case, then I've gone 3 months with waste unnecessary.
You got 3 months.
You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it too late. So
I get you.
You got 3 months going on that, aren't you?
no, but by April it would have.
I'm going to say by April it's going to be.
Yeah, your
long
mouth is
enough.
going to be hid.
I'm too. Yeah. No. Yeah. Anyway,
Well, you won't be able
He's
to.
going to have food crumbs all over.
He is. And it's going to be so gross.
Yeah. No. That's. I have to put stuff in here all the time, and hopefully when it gets long enough, then it'll just stay up.
Oh,
That's
so what are you using? What product?
Same stuff
are
I
you
put in my
using?
hair. Yeah. So it's
What is that you put in your hair?
whatever I bought at the store.
Now,
I mean,
see,
it's not-
you shaved today. I came to church on
Thank you
Sunday,
for
and
noticing.
he's all unshaven. It's about a quarter of an inch long.
I was
and I
just.
thought that was the new trend, so I didn't.
You know what?
So I didn't shave today.
Well, I got to tell you, I put up with it until this morning, and I actually got a new razor out.
Uh-huh.
And thought this got to go because I couldn't stand it no more. Because you know why? Because it was growing so far down on my neck, and it was just I didn't like it rubbing there. Otherwise, it would still be there. What was strange about it though was that some of those suckers were long already. You know,
they grow at different rates.
evidently.
Wow.
Well,
That's really interesting.
That's a problem with men's beards. They grow at different lengths.
I mean, and you know what? I was really into letting it happen.
Something everybody needs to know.
Well, I wanted it.
You can trim your neck and leave the rest.
But I'm not good at that.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not good at that. I always wanted one of those ones that come down through your sideburns and just down your cheek.
I think
But
that's
you know what happened?
High maintenance.
Here's what happened.
Yeah.
My cheek is down here now.
all right. Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yes.
Now,
Lamb chops is what they were called.
If I ever had plastic surgery, I would tell them to put this back up here where it belongs. But I don't know if they can do that.
Yeah, if you missed it on Sunday, we had a new preacher on Sunday.
Well,
Yeah, we did.
He's
We
not
had-
new. He's been
Well, he's
been
Michael,
here before.
half dozen times at least.
Yeah, Mike Amos. Yeah, he did a good job.
I was surprised. I saw Mike. He had the microphone on,
Yeah.
and I was preparing to
And you know
preach.
what?
And then I looked over and I saw you, and I said, he's usually only here when you're not here, and as a substitute, you're here, and he's preaching at the same time.
And I got to tell you, I could hear you better when you were talking with the microphone.
It's different. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can have me jacked up if you.
Well, you need.
It was louder.
It was, and I enjoyed it better because
Okay. All right.
except when you talked really low while you were praying, I didn't catch every word you were saying.
Gotcha. We need to get you one of those.
Well, here's what's going to happen is that your mustache is going to grow so long I won't be able to see your mouth, so I'll never hear anything you say until after Bible school.
I don't think that's going to be the case. But good question. Yeah. So I scheduled. So I was gone Tuesday to my program
Saturday.
took place Tuesday to Friday.
You were worried you weren't going to get back in time, possibly.
There was so I'm cheap and I'm flying Southwest, which is a great airline.
That's
but
what we flew.
yeah, so I could not get home Friday nights with Southwest. Their latest flight would have meant I had to leave early from the program, so I had to wait till Saturday. Well, Saturday, flying even at the earliest flight, I didn't get home until I was actually home 6:15. And I didn't know what to expect. Am
And
I going to
so
be
it
completely
was really
exhausted? I'm like,
Quarter after 9.
And you never know about air travel.
Well, your eyes were all red.
You delay.
yeah, I was also sick.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sometimes the planes lose their wheels.
yeah.
I know. Did you see that
No,
on the
I
news?
didn't. Thank goodness.
No, you don't watch the news, but
No.
yeah, that Delta airliner.
Yeah.
Yeah, another plane looked over and said, "Hey, you're losing a wheel." Honest to goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all on the ground yet, but one plane looked at the other and said, "Hey, you need to stop."
Your wheels rolling off the
Yeah.
road.
To tell you the truth, I have been expecting this is terrible to talk about, but I have been expecting things like that to happen because I don't think the generation that we're teaching to repair airplanes cares that much about what they're doing. I don't.
Well, that's a real encouraging.
Well, it's not that. It's just that I think it's just like sometimes when we have the kids in the sound booth, and they don't realize that if they mess it up, they're messing it up for everybody.
Yeah.
But I always feel that way playing the piano or the organ. If I mess up, I'm messing it up for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's pressure I put on myself.
I mean, I think everybody is different, and I think
guess.
yeah.
Do you ever mess up, Don?
Never.
I knew that about you.
Yeah.
Have you ever made mistakes in ministry, Don? Besides this one.
I've never been wrong before.
Wrong?
There was a time I thought I was wrong, but I was just mistaken. So
did you hear him say that? I mean, that takes a lot of guts to say I've never been wrong. Okay.
So I routinely, if I've printed something that's more than 1 page long, there's a high probability that there is some error or mistake.
I noticed that in your
emails. I have accepted that. I'm disappointed when that happens, but
everybody can't be perfect all the time.
No, when I speak, exactly.
Yeah.
When I speak, there's a good chance that I've said something that is probably not 100% accurate, and I've probably made someone feel uncomfortable, if not more than that, maybe unhappy. So
squeamish.
You know what?
Squeamish.
I make mistakes.
No,
you screw up all the time.
Alphonse, you make mistakes?
Oh, yeah.
All the time, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Hey, I wanted to highlight something that I thought was worth mentioning.
Okay.
Maybe 2 things.
One is
good. We might limit it to one. Let's listen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go to the second one first.
Okay.
The second one, of course, is that in 4.5 weeks, we're going to have a great celebration.
We are
here.
And you are invited.
Yes, and we want to make sure anybody and everybody who is remotely interested is feeling free to show up.
Come and see what God did.
I believe we made some kind of an adjustment on the time.
It's at 2:00.
A 2:00 worship service.
On February 25th.
Yeah, celebration of rededication is going to happen here in the sanctuary, and some light refreshments to follow downstairs.
Yep.
So that's a Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon.
And the reason why we're saying is because the public is invited to come and celebrate with us.
If you would rather do it from afar, hey, if you live far away and can't travel, we will be broadcasting it. But if you're in the area or even remotely close and would like to, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, we sure would.
So
we sure would. If you ever sang in a choir here before, we would love to have you here that day and sing in the choir. It'll be something that you know or something easy.
Yeah.
Feel free to come back for just that Sunday. No questions asked, except where you been and do you want to stay. But or if you're just singing a choir in your own church community and you're coming here to see what we did or what God did, you are invited to sing in our choir with us that day.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the second thing.
Okay, we'll let you do the other one.
Second thing. What's the second thing?
The
first thing was the second thing.
First thing
was
February 25th. This Sunday.
Congregational meeting?
I'll throw that one in too. Okay, fine. Okay. We are going to have a congregational meeting February 11th.
Oh, 11th.
Yeah. So that's down the line. If you're a member, stick around after the 11 o'clock service or come back for it. We'll get some snippets, actually.
Can we go back to yay or nay?
Yay or nay?
Yeah, I've got a yes or no.
I have never done yay or nay.
Oh,
never.
Well, yay or nay.
You know why?
You could try it.
That could. But yay, nay, they sound the same.
No, they don't. All in favor, yay. All again, nay.
That's what they do down in Washington.
Exactly.
Down in Washington, they still do it that way.
We're not Washington.
Well, that's who's
anyway. Leave that.
Robert,
come on.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it doesn't care. Anyway, you want to bring out Robert's Rules of Order? Feel free to. You look at all the members around. Anyway, Yes, congregational meeting February 11th.
What's this weekend?
Yeah, but what do you
This
want to talk about?
weekend,
Yeah, this
though,
weekend is
this Sunday.
installation.
Yes.
I don't like those Sundays.
Ordain and install new officers,
Wow.
deacons and elders,
Wow.
new people. We get to
And the bell choir's playing.
and the bell choir's going to
The bell
play
choir's
as well.
playing, yeah.
So it's going to be great. I love that service. A reminder to see the people that God is bringing in to serve and to lead us, and it's just exciting.
It is
exciting,
in the life of the church.
especially because over the years I've seen so many people who were called and were reticent, and actually, it's funny. So, as part of our time when I was away, people sharing their stories. There was a woman that I actually had known. I knew of. We didn't really know each other, but from the church that I was at under care of and member and staff of back in LA, and she shared her story about being called to serve on the session, and she got this letter, came in the mail, and she read it, and she kind of thought, "Really, me?" And she said, but when she read the names, I want to say she said a dozen, it might have been 24, I don't know. She said, these people have been praying for me and believe that I'm called. And it just was such a gratifying moment for her in her journey of faith.
Oh.
And I thought, what a testament. And we do the same thing here, you've been serving on the nominating committee. What the work we've been doing and what it feels like, and I think it's just so gratifying. I think about Kenton when you came on staff here, and I know I'm sure that there was some hiccups. There was some. There might have even been some hurdles that you needed to overcome along the way of people saying a piano,
Right.
But over the years, the number of people that have come to you and said, I'm so grateful for what you do in worship. And you've helped me grow in my faith
innumerable times, yes.
And how gratifying that is to receive that, and that people recognize your participation in the life of this church.
I think that there's so many people that don't understand all the different things that happen behind the scenes in the church.
No, they don't.
I still remember, I was a member of a church, and I still remember the day my pastor walked up to me and he said, "Al, you know what? I think you'd enjoy being on the property committee and helping out. I think you have some of the qualities I think that we need, and then we need a younger guy in here and to get involved in that." And it's something I'd never volunteered. I don't think I'd have volunteered for it. I was kind of new as being a member in the church, but it was rewarding that somebody thought of you to be able to do that job. And I think a lot of people that serve as elders that haven't served as elders and deacons are sitting there not thinking they're qualified for some reason to do it, or that it's not something that they're made to do, but to be asked to do it,
right.
to be prayed and then asked to do it, I think it opens up something. And then when you do it, most of the time, it's pretty gratifying. I mean, you get to see the inner workings of the church.
Yep.
You get to meet in a different light a lot of different members of the church. You get to know them in a different way than you do by just showing up on Sunday. And
you know what? Even in this past,
it's good. It's good for your soul. It's good for your heart if you feel like you're serving the Lord.
Yeah.
Even this past summer, when we were at one service, I was amazed at the amount of people I could hear say, "I didn't know you went to church here. I didn't know you went to church here." It's so weird for me to think that some people don't. Of course, the church isn't the center of their universe, and I get that. But some people just don't realize that there's more to it than what you see. There's a lot more to it than what you see.
A lot more. Yeah.
Now, for me, preparation-wise, it's gotten easier over the years because there's repetition, and there always will be. I mean, not as repetitious as maybe an Orthodox service where the music's the same all the time. But it has become easier for me just to come in. Like I can do a funeral without any music. I can do a wedding without any music.
You can do anything without it.
No, well, but I mean, it's nice.
On his own, yeah.
But just to go in and sit down and do it, there's no pressure.
Well, that's a good segue to simply this. You know what? Whether you're watching us as a member of Canonsburg UP Church or as a member of the community or who knows where, that's online. Do you have a church? Do you have a community where your gifts and talents are being used, where you're growing in your faith and your relationship with Jesus? Because if you don't,
get one.
Yeah, it's a new year, a new opportunity. It's been great to see in our church, even though the last few weeks have been really cold.
Yes.
The weather's been terrible. It's been so cool to see new people show up.
And then the other thing is that when it's the most cold outside, the elderly come out.
I know, isn't it funny?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
we had a great grandfather show up 2 weeks ago, one of the coldest days, and his granddaughter and great grandsons actually were at home sick.
But he was here.
But he was here, yeah. So Ken's going to play some music in a second, but we want to ask you: have you got church?
Get it right here at Canonsburg UP Church. Keep February 25th in your mind, on your calendar. Also, if you like this video, like it and share it. We're going to come back with part 2, which is just music and us. But before we go, hit share now. Hit share now. And then I'll remind you of that when we get into making music again, too. Right. But I hope these mics are working all right today.
Great.
It was totally my fault I wasn't here last Wednesday.
That's okay.
Totally mine.
All right. You get to make up for it right now.
I'm glad you got enough sleep last week. That's good.
Well, it wasn't about sleep. It was just cold.
Cold. Okay.
I was cold. The last couple of years, I was never a person to be cold. I was always, I could go out and weather, it didn't make any difference. And these last 2 years, man, just chills me to the bone.
Don't even think about moving to Florida. We need you here.
Don't leave.
I'm not moving. We'll be right back.